Okay, we're back. Hello. Got my funky shirt on today. Don't know why, I was just feeling it. I was feeling the vibe. So today we're gonna do our review of the second book in the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, A Court of Mist and Fury. Woo! Now let me tell you, this book was a ride. I went through so many emotions, so many feelings towards different characters. It was crazy. Now, I did say I was going to eat my words in the last video, and that was because I actually filmed that a little bit late and had already started reading the second book, but I am definitely not Team Tam. Bye. I won't reveal any spoilers, but I do not like that boy, or man, I guess you could say. So there you go. See? Sometimes opinions can be wrong. Shockingly, the main character still isn't annoying me, which is fantastic. Honestly, none of the characters are annoying me. I love them. I love the roles they're used for. Even the ones I perhaps dislike, they still have a great role in the plot, which is fantastic. And the way it's written, the descriptions, the different courts. Oh, I just love it. I always knew I was gonna love it, but this is amazing. I haven't done one of these videos in ages, and well, I don't know what to say. It's too much to say. I gave this book a 5-star. I know, shock. The thing is that potentially in the grand scheme of things, it might not be a 5-star, but that was my true feeling. I feel like it was like 4.5 to 5. Not for the fact that it was maybe the best book I've ever read, but more for the fact of like how it made me feel, how gripped I was, and how motivated I was to read it. Also the plot, there was a lot of changes in that plot, and I thought that was really cool. The development between the main characters were fantastic. So yeah, really I couldn't fault it. So why would I not give it 5 stars? I don't feel like I should gatekeep 5 stars for just certain books. So if I feel like the book gave me 5-star feeling, then it's getting 5 stars. So this book was definitely more spicy than the first book. I'd maybe say like 3 to 3.5. It wasn't super spicy, but there was definitely spice in there. So we're not quite at Penelope Douglas yet, but you know, I am reading the third book, so we'll see if that changes in the next video. I would definitely recommend this book. I would recommend this series. I really enjoy it, and it's like I always say, unfortunately the first book always ends up being the worst book usually in a series, but that's because it sets up a lot, and while the book itself still might be amazing and really good, it's always going to get better and better and better, because the more connection you have to the characters, the more you feel what they're going through, and the more you can kind of actually be in the plot, if that makes sense. Like, you're kind of there when you read it, you're really invested, you're really into it, and you're like, it just creates a fantastic experience for the reader. I have my review. So I did say I loved this book, as I've already told you. It was a lot better than the first book, and I will say, spoiler but not spoiler, I am Team Rhys. Honestly, this boy, it's been a long while since I've loved a character as much as I'm loving him at the moment, and that terrifies me. I'm just gonna say it, that terrifies me. The character development, the plot development in this book was so good. It's quite a big book. I think it was like 600 and something pages, so a lot happened, but there is nothing in there that I would change. So in my eyes, it was perfect. I also feel like with some of the characters, it's set up potential redemption arcs, and I love a redemption arc. So fingers crossed for that. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It'll still be a great plot, but I would love a little redemption arc. Loving the next boss situation, Highburn, this whole kingdom, this whole extra, another land basically. I'm loving that. It's kind of building up different bosses, and I'm really excited to see where that will go. The fridge has made an appearance, thank you. I feel like Rhys's character also contributed to this book being a 5-star, because like I said, it's been a long while since I was really attached to a character, and I just think that I really like seeing his development and maybe spoiler for the next book, but there is some more development going on and I love it. But we'll get into that on that video. You have to come back for that one. That being said, I am very nervous about how much I love this character, because we have a running joke in my family that whenever we watch a film or I read a book, I'll always be like, oh, I love this character. It's my favorite character ever. And they die, like 100% without fail. So I'm not saying it. I'm literally not saying it, because if I'm not putting it out there. I'm not putting it out there. It will rip me apart. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No spoilers. If you have read it and something happens, don't let me know. Please, don't tell me. Don't tell me. If I had to be really nitpicky, again, didn't dissuade from the 5 stars. But if I had to find something that perhaps I didn't like about the book, all I will say is I feel like Tamlin's character was pretty much assassinated. So I feel like there was a 180, there was not a lot of explanation, and there wasn't, how do I put this? I get what they're doing and I get how they're making Tamlin's character, right? I get his purpose, everything. But in the first book, it kind of was like, oh great, amazing, she falls in love, etc. Then they go under the mountain, it puts this rift between them. Then the second book starts and like nothing is said about it. I feel like I don't want to spoil anything. But okay, if you haven't read this book yet, don't watch for this next portion. Come back to it when you've finished reading the book. But I feel like I need to speak about this. So what I don't really understand is, I get that they fell in love and all of this jazz, right? And he was what she needed for that period of time. However, the things that he does at the end of this book, like the whole plot twist, everything, he does it because he wants her to come back, right? And I feel like that's a bit of a far stretch. So I feel like they should have built up like an obsession, maybe a bit more. Like I feel like it was there, but it didn't really feel, like I was kind of like, oh, we haven't heard from you this whole book and there you are. Do you know what I mean? It didn't really make sense as well as it could have. I think there could have been a bit more set up with that. And I think also, you're telling me like this guy literally was like doing a bit of a whole like a Beauty and the Beast vibe, where he was like not telling her so she didn't have to get involved and she fell in love with him naturally and all of this, right? And like he cares about her and everything, but suddenly he doesn't see that she's withering away when they come back. Like that doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like even though there's a mention where he doesn't really like push it and they don't want to talk about what happened under the mountain, well, we don't really know what happened to him under the mountain other than the fact that he just had to sit there all the time with her. And like I feel like he should have tried a bit more, and I don't really know. I think that's probably part of it, part of how the author now wants you to see the character. And it makes sense to me, but I feel like they could have been a little bit more. And maybe that's not a problem with this book, that's a problem with the book before, where I said it could have had about 50 to 100 pages, a bit more plot development, talking about what had happened maybe, or how he felt towards her. Because I feel like when we started the book, we were almost starting from a slightly different story. Does that make sense? But nonetheless, I'm still here for it, because Team Rhys, what a legend, what an icon. There's a bit of hair that's like in my nose. I'm not going to complain, basically. It was not enough to sway me away from the fact that it was still a 5 stars. So many amazing things going on in that book, and I really suggest you read it. That was my review, nice and brief, on A Court of Mist and Fury. If you want me to talk more in depth about these books, and you want me to mention spoilers and talk about the plots, or give you a plot summary, so maybe you don't have time to read it but you want to read it, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I kind of want to keep it respectful for people that haven't read it yet but also want to read it. Well, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow, because we are posting a video every day at the moment and holding ourselves accountable. Wish me luck. I'm going on my grocery shop. And I hate food shopping, but we'll be fine. We got this. We got this. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and subscribe, please. Come on back. You know, why not? Might as well. Go on, do it. You know you want to. Go on, go on. Until next time, bye.